It's Makeover Monday. And tonight's project should go pretty quick. Let's see, I got this on. Oops. I've got my glue stick, my glue gun heated up. I've got let's see. Yeah. I got a big old mess already. I barely started. Let's see. Hello. I already got ink all over my fingers. I have to wash it off because if you get ink on stuff, it's very difficult to get it off. Especially after you heat it. If you heat set it, it's permanent. It's not coming off. Okay. Safe. It's Monday. Turn off the volume. Make it bigger. Hey, Margaret. Hello. Okay, so I am so sorry I did not get to show you what we found Friday at Middle Earth Treasures. And I already had to start working on one of the shirts because I've never done what I'm doing before, and I wanted to see if I was going to be able to make it happen. Because I'm learning not to go live without ever trying anything first. So it's going to take a little bit of sewing, and it's going to take a little bit of gluing, and it'll be fun though. It'll be fun. So we'll get started. It's Monday night, Makeover Monday. How's everybody's Monday been? It's been a Monday. I'm just going to say it's been a Monday. So Thursday at Middle Earth Treasure, I found these little, oh, they're in with the tools now, but I found these little goggles that are going to be great for when I'm sanding and drilling too, but cutting wood. And I found these little bracelets that were like a dark brown and sparkly for 50 cents. And I've been wanting something in that brown, that shade of brown, so I've got those in there in my jewelry box. And then I found these two shirts. And one of the shirts I found, I had been kind of keeping my eyes open for because I saw a design somebody had done with this shirt, and I really loved it. And so I'm hoping this shirt's going to fit me. I haven't tried it on yet. But it's this little t-shirt right here. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to fit. I'm not that small. We'll see. So it's a design she did that I really loved, and it had this kind of front right here, and part of the design was here, and then part of the design was here. So I'm excited to do that. And then I was watching YouTube, and I caught Heidi Scott on YouTube, and she had this shirt on that was so adorable. It was black, and then had the sleeves, and then it had like a ruffle white with black polka dots, and I loved her shirt, and I was like, oh, I need to try it. So she was putting ruffles on towels, and so I thought, you know, I need to try this on shirts and see if I can do it. And so I picked up this little blue shirt, this little blue t-shirt, and it's too small for me, so I won't be able to wear it, but I thought it would be a good practice shirt to see if I could do it. So I had this fabric that I picked up at an estate sale. It's a big tablecloth, and I'm cutting the tablecloth apart. I plan to make some stuffed stars for patriotic, you know, for say 4th of July and that kind of stuff. So I'm using this, and I'm kind of okay with the way it came out. It's my first time now, so keep in mind I do need to practice because I want to sew them on instead of gluing them on. But I added a little bit of a fringe at the bottom. So we've got this buffalo plaid fringe at the bottom of the shirt, inspired by Heidi. And we have I did one sleeve so far. So I add a little bit of fringe on the sleeve. Okay, Margaret. Thank you for joining me for a few minutes. It was fun to have you, and we'll catch up. So we have the sleeve and we have the ruffle at the bottom, and so now I just need to add this sleeve, and then we're going to it's small enough that I think it could go on like probably a teenage girl if she's interested in something like this. And so this is the transfer I want to use for it. Don't grow up, it's a trap. I'm going to do it in white, so it'll pop with the white on the ruffle sleeves and the ruffle waistline. Now, if I ever was to do this again, I would not glue the fabric on, because you can tell it's been glued on. I think it would be better if it was sewn. I got to learn how to do that, though. I haven't sewn in such a long time. I got to relearn how to use the sewing machine and how to sew a ruffle onto the bottom of a shirt. But if you fabric glue, bye Margaret. If you fabric glue, you can machine wash cool, but you cannot dry. You need to air dry. So yeah, so this is done like this, and so it can be washed. It's just gonna have to air dry. So I thought I'd do the sleeve online or live so you can see how it's done in case you want to give it a try. You could check out Heidi Scott. She can do it too. I don't know. She didn't do the shirt. She did the towels. And so I just took what she was doing with the towels and put it to the shirt. Love watching people on YouTube, getting ideas from them and then taking and playing with it. But I think that's why they do it. They say they want to inspire people to create. And so that's what I'm trying to do. All right, so at this point, I'm going to lower the camera down to the table so you can see what I got going on down here, and then we'll get started. Okay, here we go. Close your eyes if you tend to get dizzy, and I'll let you know when we're there. In the meantime, as you join me tonight, please say hello and where you're watching from. It's fun to see where everybody's watching from. And if you're watching the replay, please type hashtag replay in the comments. And if you're watching on YouTube and you like what you see, I would love it if you could give me a little thumbs up and maybe even subscribe, and you can see other videos. If you push the little bell, it'll notify you whenever I put up other videos, and you can check out what's going on. And who knows, maybe there'll be something that you really like and would like to try for yourself. You never know. So this is 2.5 inches wide, and I'm wanting to say 20 inches long. Let me see. It's been a day or so since I cut this. I don't remember. Okay, it's 18 inches long. That was easy enough. The sleeve, I measured it, and it was about 11 inches around. This right here. It's about 11 inches around. So I made this 18 to create a little bit of a ruffle. And so I don't have my iron out. Instead, I have my heat press, since I'm going to use it to heat set my ink. So I'm going to fold this in half, and I'm going to iron it with the heat press, because that was the first thing she said that would make it easy to do, was to iron it. So I'm going to set that right there to hold that in place, and take this and just set it on there for a minute. Not a minute, just a few seconds, just to press it down. And then when she sewed it, she used her sewing machine, but my sewing machine's in my craft room, and like I said, I have to relearn how to use it. I haven't used one in so long. I put it out on a table, and so it's sitting on a table, well, a makeshift kind of table, and it's got a space where I could sit and I could use it. I just need to get in there and start using it. Okay, so now it's creased, and then I'm going to do the other half. I want to go ahead and start I want to start doing a thing where I start giving away things that I make, but I'm not sure about this shirt. I don't know. I wouldn't try to sell it or give it away unless somebody really likes it, because it's not perfectly done. It's a practice shirt. And so I'm practicing this technique with you all. And if anybody has tips where they've done something like this and they know an easier way to do it, then that would be awesome to, you know, I would love to hear. So now this is the folded side and this is the open side. And so I'm going to take my thread. I need some glasses so I can see what I'm doing. Oh my gosh, I did it in the first try. And it's recorded. Yay. And so I'm just going to take this and I'm just going to do a little slip stitch, right? So I'm going to go back and forth with the needle in here. So when I did the bottom portion of the shirt, I messed up and I had to undo part of it. Because I'm not going to say because. I tried, excuse me, I tried to do the whole thing in one piece and I messed it up. And I had to yank half of it off and start over with that half. So I'm thinking for someone, if you're new at this and you're trying to glue your ruffle on, I would do one half at a time. Do one side at a time. That way it's a little bit more manageable. So I'm just, if you can see what I'm doing, I'm just running it through, just like that. I haven't cut it off the spool yet. And then what's going to happen when I'm ready to put it on the sleeve, you can just cinch it and it'll ruffle it up for you, see? Okay, I'm going to keep doing it. I probably should have used pinking shears on the edge so it doesn't unravel. It's all a new thing. This is a practice shirt for me. And I really want to try to continue doing it, so I'm going to practice some more. Okay. So pull this out like that. So I'm just zigzagging back and forth, just like that. See, when I pull it tight, it ruffles it up. I thought this ended up being a nice little quick project for tonight, since I have to finish getting ready for vintage market days this weekend. Thursday morning I get to drive out there. It's about a 2.5 hour drive and I gotta be there by about 8:30. So Wednesday night I'm gonna load up my car and I'm gonna go over to my friend Linda's house, and if I have room in my car, load some more things in it. Help load the trailer in the back of the truck if it's not raining like crazy. So that we can just get up in the morning and start driving. Okay, so it starts to turn into a circle. This is new to me. Okay, so I can work from both sides. I can pull it this way too. Right. So now I'm going to leave this piece long, and I think I'm going to cut this piece and tie it off, and then I'll work it back as I need to go. don't know if you can see what I'm doing over the gray, so I'll do this. It might be easier to see on the table. I did it again. Oh, I did it again. I didn't even need this. Oh, and I just dropped it. I'm sorry. My eyes are, my eyes are very well used, and sometimes it's hard to see, and it blows my mind when I can thread my needle without having to use my needle threader. It just blows my mind. Okay, so I'm gonna close this up and tie it off. I probably should have done what are these called again? Pinking shears there as well, but I didn't this time around, which is fine. All right, tie it off. All right, so now this end is where it's going to be. I left this one long so I can pull it as I need to. And see, now I have all these extra strings because I didn't do pinking shears. They make it a little confusing for me. And so then I'm going to take my shirt. I've got my fabric glue gun on. Put that over there with the thread. Put my scissors away for now. I'm going to turn my shirt inside out. And see, I just kind of glued it on here. I know there's a better way to do it. I'm sure anybody who's watching this who sews is probably cringing. But this is, it's a practice run. Next time I will use pinking shears so that it doesn't unravel. And I'm going to learn how to sew these on here, so that it runs along with the hem and that it's straight. But for the time being, I have to do this because it's just, even though it's not perfect, it's coming out cute. I think it's coming out cute. So I want to finish it just for the sake of finishing it. So I'm going to take the end that I tied, I'm going to glue it right here and start here at the seam and glue it down. I'm going to leave a little piece sticking out so that when I bring the other end, I'm going to glue it like this, not like this. Why? I don't know. I don't know. I should have Googled this and watched somebody do this kind of thing before I did it, but you know what? That's okay. There's nothing wrong with trying stuff first. So I'm just going to... You don't get far if you don't just give it a try. And sometimes when we fall and make mistakes, that's how we learn. All right. So now there's a little extra, so I can glue the other end to it. I'm going to let this get cool. The doggies outside are talking to each other. Alright, so I've got this pulled a little bit too tight, so I'm going to loosen it up a little bit. Try to make it as even as I can with the ruffles. I don't want to start gluing it down until I'm sure that I've got it at the right length. So let me pull these out a little bit. I guess if I was just straight pin it, that would be helpful, but I didn't bring any straight pins in. However, I think I'm breaking my drawer. I have safety pin. That might help. This might be helpful. There we go. So I'm going to pin that right there for now. That should help. Okay. And then I'm going to pin this right here. Okay. I am just flying by the seat of my pants here. Sometimes that's how I learn better. But I learn what not to do first. and then I modify from there. No, the other two parts I did not do this with. I did not pin them down. I just kind of worked my way around and hoped for the best. And that's probably why my bottom half didn't go well. I had to start over. Now see, there's not much ruffle left there. So I probably need to, oops, there went my other shirt. Just fell on the floor. Pull some of this down. And then pin it right there. And then pull some more down, like that, right about there. And pin that down. Okay. And then just kind of stretch this out a little bit. And I think that's going to work. Pin it down right there. Oh my gosh. I'm going to have to get some more shirts I can practice on because I'm loving this. I mean, I've never really been a huge t-shirt fan, but when I find stuff that's like got the correct, you know, the neckline that I like, or it's V-neck, I love putting little designs on it, but you know, I want a little flair, a little fringe, a little bling, a little something. There. So that's set to where I want it. So now I'm going to go back over here where I started, and we'll start gluing it down. What I want to do too, so make sure I don't glue it to itself. I'll do that. And then I'll just put a little glue underneath here. Probably shouldn't put that on the computer. It might make the computer get too hot. Okay. And then take this off. Put a little more glue. I like this better with the pin. It makes it so much easier. So next time I'll know to pin it. pin it in place. I knew that already. I just, you know, I'm so out of practice with sewing. You know, I took home ec in high school. I learned how to make my own clothes. You know, I made an outfit for myself. And I did a little bit of sewing in high school years, but once I got out on my own, I just quit doing it. And that's too bad that I did. I mean, I would do a hem if I needed to, or make a repair, but I did everything I could to avoid using a sewing machine. And I would do it by hand as much as I possibly could, which is probably cray-cray, but I was just too lazy. Pull out the sewing machine, get all of it set up, get the thread put in there the way it needs to be done. It was more than I wanted to do. But now that I have a place where I can leave it set up. How about you? Do you like to sew? Do you like to use your sewing machine, or are you in the same boat I'm in, where you just don't want to mess with it? If you have to take it out of the bag every single time you have to use it. So I'm just kind of pinching it a little bit while I'm pushing it down on the glue. Because I think that's what needs to be done. I think that's what I should do, so that's what I'm doing. I'll put some more glue. Okay. This is getting harder to do, so I'm going to take this other pin out. Here we go. I've got this long string still, so I can pull it tight if I need to. Which I need to pull it a little bit tighter. There we go. I want to be able to glue this together like this. So, that's about right. And then what I'm going to do before I glue this end together, I'm going to tie off the thread. Pull it a little tighter and then tie it off. I'm just putting a little, I mean, however you do it is up to you. I'm just putting a few extra stitches here on the edge. And then I'm going to tie it off. There you go. Whoopsie. That's okay, I can do the rest without the needle, I hope. I think. Maybe I can't. I'm just gonna push it through there. There we go. I did it without the needle. Yay! Alright, cut off that tip. And then I'm going to put a little glue on this edge, like that. And then seal it to that. And then I'll put a little glue under there once I'm done holding this together. And then I'll go in and touch up any pockets of, you know, unglued spots where it's not really sticking to the shirt. I think what I did on the other side was I kind of sewed it, you know what, I'll just glue it down like that. There we go. There we go. And then I do believe I need to get up under here. Just like that. And I see little holes that I want to catch real quick like. I'll put all this up here so it's out of the way. Oh, did I miss a spot? No, I just forgot to take the pin out. That's okay. That's okay. So, you know, I mean, this would work if you're just wearing it yourself and it doesn't bother you. But I think you probably will want to practice and be a little more careful with the details if you're giving it to someone or trying to sell it. Okay, I'm not going to push down every little tiny spot tonight because this is just a practice shirt. Okay, so now let's put some design on it and finish it up. Don't need that anymore. Turn this right side out. So this is a medium 7/9. This is a junior shirt. I don't know if a junior, you know, size person would want to wear this, but I think it's just cute. I mean, it was a plain blue t-shirt, and now it's got a little bit of zhuzh to it. And then I'm going to put, oopsie, all my I'm going to put this inking mat inside the shirt. Put it on the floor so it's out of the way. Here we go. Now luckily this is an old one and it's not so sticky, and so I'm able to get it in here pretty easily. But it's almost bigger than the shirt. The shirt's so small. Little bitty shirt. Just a little bitty shirt. Okay. So I've got the mat. I'll pull it up a little more. In there where I think I'm going to put the transfer. Okay. Flatten it out. There we go. Now there's the inking mat is serving two purposes. Number one, it's when you buy it, it's going to be a lot stickier than this one. It comes to you very sticky, and so your fabric will stick to it. and keep it from sliding around while you're trying to do your design. And number two, it will keep the ink from transferring over to the other side of the shirt and then going through the back. Okay, so that's why we have the inking mat. If you don't have an inking mat, you can always put a cardboard underneath or something. It's just the inking mat helps to keep it safe. I'm sorry, hold on. Yes, in the somebody's asking me if I'm live. Okay, so let's do this. Don't grow up, it's a trap. I've already written on it because I've used it. I made one for myself. One for myself. So, let's put it right about here. I need to make sure it's straight. Yeah, I'll show you mine. I did mine with hot mess technique. I'll show you. One moment. Let her know I'm still live. My friend wants to still live now. There we go. Okay. So this is a shirt that I want to wear at Vintage Market Days. And I did 3 colors, white, bark, and eucalyptus. And it came out to look like a little bit of a, what you call it? Camouflage kind of a look. This one here I'm going to do white. Because I want it to, you know, be with the white, you know, kind of go along with the white on the sleeves and on the bottom. So, white ink. And all I'm doing is smudging the white ink. Now when you're doing the ink, it's a bit thinner than your paste. And so you don't want to push down really hard. And you don't want to do this, and this, and this, and this. You just want to try to keep it all in the same direction. If you do that, if you just kind of, you know, go crazy all direction, you increase the chances of it bleeding underneath the transfer and just kind of messing up your design. So I'm just making sure I get all of the screened area covered with white. Hi Sandra, thank you. That's one of my shirts I'm going to be wearing this weekend at the Vintage Market Days. I'm going to put a little Chocolate Tour logo on it. And I just finished adding ruffle to this shirt. It's just a plain t-shirt when I bought it. And I added some ruffle with some fabric. Well, I say fabric. It was a tablecloth. It was a very light, very thin tablecloth that I picked up at an estate sale. And I cut it a couple strips. I cut 3 strips off of it and put ruffle on the sleeves and on the bottom portion. Okay, I'm going to put this all the way up there, away from the shirt. Take this off. Don't grow up. It's a trap. It's a trap. Okay, so I'm going to set this over here out of the way. And then I need to wash my hands. Okay. And since I'm done inking on this, I'm going to go ahead and take my mat out. See if I can just shake it out. Yep, there we go. I'm putting parchment paper inside so I don't risk it getting on the back of the shirt. Because this goes into the fiber, so it will go through. It will bleed through if you're not careful until it's heat set. I'm going to dry it a little bit with a blow dryer. So what I'm doing is checking for tackiness. When you heat set this, the best time to heat set it is when it's dry. Oh, thank you. When it's dry and not tacky anymore. And I mean, there's just a tiny little bit of tackiness here. And since this is a practice shirt, I'm not going to worry too much about it. So I'll take you through to the end here with this shirt. So at this point, what I'm going to do, if you don't have a heat press, this can be permanently heat set with an iron by setting it to the cotton setting. And once it's heated up and ready to go, put some parchment paper like I did inside. Hi Shelly, how are you? And then you take parchment paper and put it on top. And then you would take your iron and you would just iron over it for 4 minutes. Okay, on the top of it. Iron over 4 minutes. And then when you're done, you would do the same thing with your shirt turned inside out. But I cheat. And I have this. And this is set for 305 degrees. Really, you can Google, or if I don't remember if this came with instructions, but you can Google and find out what temperature you need to set for whatever it is you're doing. But this is a t-shirt, and so I've got it set for 305 degrees, and I'm letting it go for 30 seconds. And once the 30 seconds is done, I'm going to turn it inside out and do the same thing on the inside of the shirt. So we have 1 second down. So there's that, and then there's this side. Now, just to be safe, I'm putting the parchment paper inside again. It's probably not necessary, but I prefer to just be on the safe side so that I don't transfer any of the ink to the back of the shirt. And then I'm going to put this on top and then set it again. I'm doing pretty good, Shelly. It was a fun day at work on Monday, but now I'm home and doing this, and now I'm doing much better. Doing much better now. So we got 16 more seconds, and then this shirt will be completely finished. So again, this is a practice shirt. I added the ruffles to it on the sleeves and on here, on the bottom. It was just a plain blue t-shirt, and I saw Heidi Scott putting ruffles on towels on YouTube, and when I saw this shirt, I decided I wanted to try it. I've never done it before. This is my first attempt at doing something like this, doing the ruffles. I've done a whole bunch of chalking on shirt or inking on shirts, but never ruffles. And so this is it. I don't know if you can see it yet. I think this is cute. I mean, I would do things a little bit differently next time. But anybody who wears this will have a little bit of ruffle on the bottom. And then they'll have this cute little message on the top. Don't grow up, it's a trap. With their little sleeves with the ruffles to go with it. So I think that's cute. That's not too bad. And then my other shirt. Oh, and this particular shirt, it can be machine washed. Cool temperature because of the glue, and then hung out to dry only because of the glue. If it did not have the glue, I wash my clothes on cold and then I dry them on extra low heat, and I throw all my shirts that I ink on in the dryer, and nothing ever happens to the design. So this one, let's take this out of the way. And I'm going to use white ink on this one as well, partially for the simplicity of getting it done, and partially because I think it'll pop really nice on this blue. So I'm going to put my inking mat back inside, and I'm going to transform this into a shirt that I saw somebody had done that I really loved, and I was hoping to find a shirt like this for myself so I could make one for me. They used a Club Couture design. I mean, this design's not available anymore because it's Club Couture. It comes out for 1 month, and as a member, you can get it, and then nobody else can get it. You can't buy it. But hold on, let me see. I don't know. I managed to get a hold of a few retired Club Couture transfers, and I don't know if this is one of them. These I'm using as a gift for anyone who signs up for Club Couture. I give them one of these. Nope, I don't have, oh, that doesn't belong in there. That belongs in inventory for the craft fair. So I don't have this particular transfer, but that's okay. So the first thing that was done was these arrows. This is the Club Couture from the month of February 2021. We had Go Confidently in the Direction of Your Dreams, Live the Life You Imagined, and we had these arrows to do whatever you want to do with this design. And I saw a person who had done a shirt where she put the arrows up here on each side of the V-neck, and then this Go Confidently at the bottom here, and I loved it. I loved it. So that's what I'm gonna do. Make a shirt for myself, and then hope and pray it fits. So it's already written on because I've already used it. And we don't need to fuzz because it's going on fabric. And I want to make sure I get all of that arrow in there. So I'm going to put this here. And then in order to make sure I get it on there straight, I'm going to make sure I get these straight across because they're going to stop here and then pick up again over here. So I'm going to take this piece of tape, put it across here. There we go. So I'm going to put this right there. So when I line it up on this side, I'll just line it up over the top of this tape. There we go. So I'm trying to be careful with the ink. I'll start here. And I'm just going to go essentially from seam to seam, not quite seam to seam. I'm going to stop right here at this arrow. Okay, I might get a little bit of that arrowhead right there. All right, I'm going a little further than I planned. I'm not being careful, I'm rushing. I need to go slow. And take this off. So I just took off the excess. I'm just putting it back in the jar. Setting the squeegee way over there. And I'm going to pull this off. Okay. And then I'm going to set this over here where it's safe to put. I'm going to take this and squeeze it over to this side. Carefully. There we go. Tape is still in place. Shirt is straight. This is good. I think I want to, I'm just using my essential tool or multi-tool. I'm just adding a little bit of the arrow to the arrowhead because it kind of looked a little goofy without anything behind the arrowhead. There, that's better. Okay, and then I want to use this carefully. Now before I put it on, I'm going to dry it a second. The reason I'm doing that is because I'm going to take this and place it here so I don't accidentally get ink where I don't want it. So I'm going to set that right there for a second. I'm going to put this lined up with the tape. How far did I go? I went that far. So I'm going to set that under there. Okay. I'm going to take a clean squeegee so I don't get it all over my hands and just kind of push out the air bubbles. Gently. I'm just gently pushing out the air bubbles. Now, we'll do the other side. The nice thing about this kind of thing too, you can borrow other people's ideas. It really is okay to do. I think, you know, I went a little further on that side, so I want to go there we go. And I'll just putting the excess back in the jar. That way over there, check my hands. Oh yeah, see there? Now I'm just going to set this on here so I can wash it when I'm done here. I'm going to dry that a little bit. I see a spot right there that I want to fix. So I'm just going to take my little tool, poke it in there, and then just dab it right there. It just didn't go through the screening all the way. There we go. Okay. And now I can pull this tape off. Move this little guy down. And I have it written on there, so I need to write on there. The reason I write on there is so that when I place this transfer back on, I want to make sure I place it on the correct side. Go confidently. I haven't used this portion of it yet. I used the arrows to make a little box for organizing a tabletop at our office. But I haven't used this part yet, which surprises me. I've had this for over a year. Oh, you know why? Because I was looking for one of these shirts. And I got so focused on, I had to have a shirt like this before I could use it, that I just never used it. And now if I can get it off the backing. Wow. There we go. Okay. Is that the way to center it? Count the letters. All right. Make sure there's no air bubbles. And then spread it on there like I'm buttering toast. I really am messy, so I'm trying not to be messy. And the fun thing too is I could take this right here, Live the Life You Imagined, and I could put it on the back of the shirt. That way I've got something on there whether I'm coming or going. Okay. Let's put the excess back in the jar. There we go. Okay, ink out of the way. Oh, I gotta wash my hands before I touch anything. Okay, peel it off. Yes, I see a spot that I want to touch up, and that's probably because it's very top of the G and I missed it. I didn't, you know, when I was squeegeeing, I missed that little spot right there with the ink. So I just closed off the G. All fixed. Now I need to dry it a little bit. I'm taking the mat out so I don't warp the mat. So I'm putting parchment paper inside the shirt again. You do not want to use wax paper. Wax paper does not work for this process. And I have learned that the parchment paper at the dollar store does not work for this process either. Okay, so I was drying it so that it won't be tacky. I want to take away, you want it, before you heat set it, you don't want any tackiness left on the ink. And so I'm going to heat set this, heat set that, heat set that. And it would be the same with the iron. If you have an iron, you would heat set all three pieces 4 minutes on each side of the shirt. So this is going to be 4 minutes. With a regular iron, it's going to be 30 seconds with the heat press on 305 degrees. So this Thursday, I will be driving to Norman, Oklahoma, so there will not be Thrifting Thursday, unfortunately. Which means I will not have Fab Find Friday because I will be at the fair, and there will be no Makeover Monday because I will be traveling back Monday. I have no idea what time I'm going to get home. So let's move this over and do this side. Or if I'm even going to be in any kind of state to even do anything. Because Monday I have to go home and I have to unload the car and I have to grocery shop and I have to food prep for the week because I report back to work Tuesday and I have no idea if I'm even going to be alive by the time all is said and done. We'll see. It's my first time ever doing something this long and this big. And I am just over the moon excited. Okay, now let's do this one. And then I'll turn the shirt inside out and set it, and it'll be done. And this will definitely be machine washable, cold water, and then dry on low heat. I use extra low heat for all of my clothes. And it'll be fine. There will be no worries about it disappearing on me. Okay, 3 more seconds, 2, 1. We are done on that side. And now we turn the shirt inside. Now the ink is most likely dry and partially heat set, but I just don't like to take a chance in case I miss this, you know, a tiny spot or something. I don't want to get ink on the back of the shirt, so that's why I do this with the parchment paper inside the shirt. Scooch the pillow over, stir on that side. I know my friend Sandra's making a gorgeous necklace. Does anybody else here have craft projects they're working on? Well, I shouldn't call Sandra's a craft project. Well, it's kind of crafty, but she's doing it for a client. Put the pillow underneath. Again, if you have an iron, it would be cotton setting and doing the same thing on the inside as you did on the outside of the shirt. 4 minutes for each spot. 4 minutes. So 12 minutes total on this side. This is why I bought this, because I started making a lot of shirts and towels, and this was just, it was a time saver, a lifesaver. Kept me from having to have the ironing board out so much. And taking up space. Okay, and then set the middle up here. You see how it's come through? That's why I use the parchment paper inside and out, just in case. Seconds, 16 seconds, and this project will be completely finished. 10 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and off we go. Okay. Take this out of the way. And so we had this plain blue shirt, and I added this little design to it. And then we had this plain navy cute little shirt, and we added ruffles to the bottom of the shirt, and we added, how do I do this? Ruffles to the sleeves, and a little cute little saying, "Don't grow up, it's a trap." And that's it. I have to do some more clothes and do some more practice on these. But that's it. I appreciate you so much for joining me. Margaret was here for a few minutes, and Sandra and Shelly, thank you so much. It was fun to hang out with you. Again, if you're on YouTube and watching this and you like what you see, I hope you do. Push like and subscribe so you can see more stuff. Hit that little bell and you'll know whenever I post a new video. And that's it for tonight. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.